Ariane. We're going to work together today and we're going to do a reading lesson, okay? So we're going to read this book together. I'm going to give you one and I'm going to keep one for myself, okay? I'm going to ask you a couple questions about our book before we start reading it. Ariane, what is this part of the book? Can you tell me what this is?
The front page.
Oh, it's the front page or the front? The front cover, right? We call it the front cover. What if we flip our book over? What's this called?
The back cover.
Oh, it's the back cover. Good job. Flip your book back over. So I'm going to point right down here. Can you point right under here and read these words with me? It says, written by Keith and Sarah Court Martin. If Keith and Sarah Court Martin wrote the words in this book, what are they? Who are they? The
Author.
Oh, they're the author of the book. Very good, Ariane. Right here, I need you to turn this way and pay attention. Right here, it says illustrated by Marilyn Janovich. Illustrated by Marilyn Janovich. If someone illustrates a book, what do? What's their job?
They write the pictures.
They write the pictures or they draw the pictures, right? Really good. Okay, before we start, we're going to talk about a couple things. In this book, we have some sight words. You remember what sight words are, right? They're super important words that we just have to know in our brain how to read, right? So I'm going to give you a dry erase marker and we're going to write the sight words that we find in this book, okay? All right, now guess where we're going to write them? Right here on this super cool table, and we can write them and then erase them. So I'm going to write the first sight word that we are going to find. Do you know what word that is?
A.
A. Can you write the sight word A for me on the table? Well, that's a big A. Well, that was an interesting way to write an A. Can you remember how we write an A? We start at the top. We go all the way around like a circle, back up and back down. Use your eraser and erase that and try it again. Nice. So I'm going to show you one more time. Kind of start over here where we start our magic C. Make a big curve around, back up and back down. So I want you to write the sight word A for me. Perfect. Good job. All right, go ahead and erase. Go ahead and erase. I'll give you your eraser. Go ahead and erase. The next sight word we're going to write is this one. Do you know what sight word that is? Well, it makes the letter makes the sound I. What letter is it? Look at me. It's the letter I. This is the sight word I. The I does say I. But when we see it like this in a word, we always start at the top when we make our letters, right? We start at the top and go down. Yep. Okay, good job. And we're going to write one last sight word. This is a tricky one. I don't know if you will know this word. I think you might. Okay, what sight word did I write? Nope, I did not write I like. Let's look right here. Can you get your mouth ready to make the sound that this letter makes? What sound does this letter make?
It makes.
Look at my mouth. Get your mouth ready and make the What sound does this one make? Makes an A or an A, right? Okay, so this is going to make an A sound because it has this sneaky E at the end, right? So we know this says may. Can you get your mouth ready to make this sound? May. What word does this say? A. Make. This is the sight word make, M-A-K-E, make. Can you write that word for me? Good. And now remember I showed you how we make that A. We start, yep. And then the K, start all the way up here. We start at the top when we make our letters and go down. Very good. And now those, yes. And then that sneaky E right on the end. What word did we write?
Make.
Make. Very good. Go ahead and erase. So we have lots of words in this book that we already know. So I want you to take, I'm going to take this pen back. Can I have it? Thank you. I'm going to give you this special pen. You know what this is, right?
Marker.
It is a marker. So we're going to highlight all of the sight words that we just learned. We're going to highlight those in our book. Do you see those sight words in your book? Where at? Nope, not on the table. Not on the table. Let me show you how to do it. So I see the sight word I. So I'm going to take this highlighter and I'm going to draw on the sight word I. Can you, is that a sight word? We just learned that one, didn't we? What's it say? Make. Go ahead and highlight it. A. Is that a sight word? Very good. This is drawing. It's not a sight word. Let's see on this page. Do you see any sight words? Okay, let's highlight them. Make. What about this one? Oh, what's that one? And what about this one? Very good. That one we did not learn. That is not a sight word. How about, do you see any sight words on this page? Mm-hmm. Oh, and what is that?
It's a.
What's the sight word? I. Yep, go ahead and highlight it. And what's that sight word? A. Very good. Oh, I. Make. A. Very good. Oh, I. Oh, that is a tricky one. That is a sight word. Do you know what sight word that is? It's the sight word and. We're not going to highlight it. We're only going to highlight the three that we know. Oh, I.
Make.
Good.
A.
Very good.
I.
Uh-huh.
Make. A.
Very good. Oh,
I.
uh-oh. That does not say the same thing, does it? It does not say I make A. That was all the pages. So we got all those sight words highlighted, okay? So when we read those, we know almost all the words in our book, right? Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk to you about before we read our book is a really big fancy word. It's called visualizing. That means we are going to read it. Listen, visualizing means when you're reading books, you can make a picture of it in your head, okay? So this book is called I Love Art Class, and it's about this little boy who kind of looks like you, and he goes to art class. So I want you to close your eyes. I'm gonna open up to page 4, and I'm gonna read you what it says, and when I read it, I want you to visualize in your head what that looks like, okay? I make a hat. Did you make that picture in your head? Did you make a picture of you making a hat in your head? Okay, can you draw it for me on the table real quick? Draw what you, I already opened it for you. Draw on the table what you pictured in your head. Good. What is that?
A hat.
That's your hat. Good job. Now let me show you what the illustrator drew. Are you finishing up? Good job. Awesome. This is what the illustrator drew. She drew a picture of a boy and he's making a hat. He has some tape and some paper. He has some paintbrushes back here. He is making a hat. So when we're reading this story, good readers visualize and practice looking in your brain to make pictures about what you're reading. All right, let's go ahead and read this book together. So we're gonna get our finger ready, and I want you to put your finger up here, and I'm gonna read the title to you. I love art class. Can you read that to me?
I love art class.
Good job. Go ahead and flip your book open. And let me tell you one more thing about this awesome book.
He's making a cow.
He is making a cow. Listen, if you come to a word and you don't know what it is, we have some strategies, right? We have some strategies. Can you sit up? We have some strategies to help us figure out the word. So the first thing we're gonna do is get our mouth ready and say the sound of the first letter, right? And then we can look at these amazing illustrations or drawings for a clue about what we're reading, okay? So let's start here. You ready? You go ahead and start reading. Now we know most of these words, so let's go.
I make a.
You gotta read this word. Get your mouth ready and make that sound.
Draw.
What's he making? He's making a drawing. Flip the page. Oh, I think you'll know what this one already says. Get ready and read it to me.
I make a.
What's the last word? Yeah, what's it say? You got your mouth ready to make that sound. Look at the picture. What's he making?
Hat.
He's making a hat. You ready? Let's read this page. I. You can read those. I
make a
look at the picture.
flower.
Good job. Nice. Turn it to page 6. You need some help. Those pages are sticky. All right, you ready?
I make a chain.
Good job.
I make
And
an airplane.
good job.
I make a picture.
Picture. All right, go ahead. Turn your page.
I make a mess.
Good job. I make a mess.
I
Sit it down. Get that.
I
Love. Get the word.
I love art class.
Good job.
I can't pull it out.
You did a fantastic job, Ariane. I just want to ask you a couple of things really quick. So we went back here on page 7, and you got stuck with this word right here. This is one of our sight words. Do you remember what I told you that sight word said? So I think that you were thinking it was gonna say A because all of the other pages said I make A, but you stopped because you saw another letter at the end of that, right? So you knew it didn't say a. This word says an. It's the sight word an. Yeah, it could have said, I make a airplane. It just doesn't quite sound right, does it? So you have to think about that. When you read it, it doesn't sound right. You can go back and fix it to make it sound right. Also, when you, remember when we were talking about visualizing? What did I tell you that visualizing meant? When you visualize, where do you think about the picture?
Your head.
In your head. When you were reading the book, were you visualizing art class? Were you thinking about some of your most favorite projects you made in art? Do you like to do these things in art? Do you like to draw and make things and paint? Let me tell you about what I was visualizing. Back here on page 9, it said, I make a mess. Do you know what Miss Moore was thinking about in her brain? I was thinking about when we made our butterfly life cycle project, and there was pom-pom caterpillars everywhere, and pipe cleaners all over the floor, and all the glue stick lids were everywhere. I was thinking about a great big mess. And that made me understand more about what was going on in our book. Were you doing the same thing when you were reading? You were thinking about the pictures and making your own in your head? Very good, Ariane. You did a fantastic job. Thank you so much for working with me today. I really appreciate it. You ready to go back to class?